That's a big one. That's a really big one. There we go. There it is. There he is. Get in there, big boy. Get in here. There you go. Just ski up on top. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, I saw him up there chasing. I saw him up there chasing. Oh, that was awesome. Well, he was hooked good, man. And both sets of hooks in him. Nice 3-pounder to start the morning. Beautiful fish, man. He smoked that popper too. That was awesome. You gotta love this stuff, man. You gotta love it. I will fish sometimes a little bit harder to get some topwater bites when I know I could throw a, a Senko or something up in there and probably catch more, but I just love to see them come up and hit on top. Oh, that was awesome. Let's catch another one of them. Oh, that was so cool. Whew. I don't know how anybody cannot like this stuff right here, man. Beautiful morning, unbelievable. Well, good morning, guys. Back out here, April the 2nd. Today's my youngest son's birthday. He's 20 years old today. And we're gonna go out to dinner tonight, have a good time. But this morning, I'm gonna see if I can catch some fish on top. I brought the old Boss Pop ready to go. Maybe you guys can see that. Freaking love this bait. The water is still a little cool. It's right at 69 degrees, but I mean, still warm enough to get some bites on top. I could probably slow down and maybe throw a Senko or D-bomb or something like that and probably catch more fish, but when they're hitting on top, man, I want to try to catch. I caught a couple good ones doing that last week. So we'll see, but I'm gonna get in here and move around. A lot of scattered hydrilla. Water's still down a little bit, which I'm not crazy about that, but I think we're still gonna catch some fish. I think it's gonna be an awesome morning. Beautiful day, man. No wind. Ain't a boat in here either. This is a Thursday, and ain't a boat. I don't have a boat in sight of me, which is pretty rare on Guntersville. So anyways, stick with me. We're gonna have some fun. We'll catch some fish. It's gonna be an awesome day. Let's go. There's one. There we go. That's a decent one. Get up in here, big boy. Get up in here. Almost to that waypoint, and I stopped it, and he choked it. There we go. There we go. Took me a minute to find them, but nice 3-pounder. Pretty fish, man. Look at that sunrise back there too. Freaking gorgeous. All right. Decent fish. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Just a little 2-pounder on a Senko. Oh, let's see if we can catch some more of them. You know, sometimes you just got to go to plan B or C or D. And sometimes out here on Guntersville, you got to go to plan like H. Because there's so many boats. My plan this morning was to fish some main river bars that I hadn't fished in a long time. And I got to the first one and I caught a few there, but the grass just wasn't what I was hoping for. So I left there and I went to, I don't know, 4 or 5 other ones, and there were just boats all over them. And I'm not gonna get up in there and crowd somebody. I'm just not gonna do that. If there's somebody sitting there, I'll just leave and go someplace else. So pulled up over in here in this little spawning flat. Didn't take 5 minutes, I caught a fish. So I know it's a public lake and you can fish wherever you want and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not gonna do that. Sometimes people do that to me and it don't really bother me that bad, but as long as I don't get too close. But there's so much water to fish on this lake, you don't have to do that stuff. So we are in plan, I think H. I'm gonna call it plan H right now. And we'll see if there's some fish in here. I know there are. See if there's any big ones in here want to bite. Dragging this old Senko around. This is the green pumpkin, the fat version. I like that one. Does a good job. This point right here has always been really good. It's not really much of a point. Just a little bend, but always caught them right here. Me and my dad come in here one day and just completely obliterated them. That was years ago, there were no power poles, nothing. We literally had an anchor. And we dropped that anchor over the side and just sat there with the old, what was that thing called? The Bass Pro Shop bait. Triple, ripple, something like that, I can't remember. Plastic worm. And just destroyed them. Never had to move. And I brought another buddy of mine in here a few years after that, and he caught back-to-back 8-pounders on that bank right there, throwing a red-eye shad. 2 biggest fish he ever caught in his life. Caught them back-to-back. I was on the phone talking to somebody when he caught the first one. Didn't even know what was going on. I heard it in the back, he was in the back of the boat and heard it, went back there and helped him get it and everything. We took pictures and all and threw it back in the water, and it wasn't 2 minutes later and he hooked up on another one. Almost the exact same spot. We were like, man, is this the same fish? But it wasn't the same fish. That was awesome. There's one. Decent one. Just a little keeper. Just a little keeper. Fat little fish. Look how healthy that fish is. Nothing wrong with that. I'll take them. I will take them. Fine with me. I'll stop that chatterbait. Ga-doom. Chatterbait fishing is so much fun, man. Man, I'll drag a Senko or D-bomb or something if I have to, but God, I'd much rather throw this. Topwater, chatterbait, than plastics. It's just a fun bite, man. When they try to like take the rod out of your hand. Even little guys like that, you know, you let that thing fall a little bit. I just like to visualize like there's a fish following my bait the whole time, and he's trying to think about biting it. And sometimes that means you speed it up. Sometimes you drop it, stop it, rip it through that grass, create a little reaction, you know. But that's kind of the way I envision it coming back in, instead of just reeling it straight back in, which doesn't produce near the bites for me. I got to do it a little different to get bit. See if there's some more in here. I keep moving around on this bar. I'm way over on the shallow side now, like almost up on top of it. Usually you catch them right there on the edge, right by the river. But that hasn't been the case today. Nope. Today they've been doing totally different than what they normally do. What else is new, right? I don't think they've watched all the videos. I don't think they've read the books. I don't think they subscribe to any of the magazines. They just do whatever they want to do. They ain't worried about what we think. Because there's so many times they ain't in on the playbook like we are. They're like, what? I'm supposed to do what? Nah, I'm gonna do something different. Y'all gotta figure it out. But that's what makes it fun, right? There's one. There we go. That one feels pretty good. Decent one. Decent one. Oh yeah. Oh, he come off right there at the boat. 4-pounder. That's a good sign. Should have just flipped him in. Y'all know me, I hate to lose them. I do hate when they get off. Well, he freaking hammered that thing, man. God. It's so fun feeling them hit this chatterbait. God. And luckily you don't lose that many on a chatterbait. Every once in a while. Have one come unbuttoned, but Not very often. All right, let's get another one. Well, let's get one in the boat. There's one. There we go. That's a pretty good one there too. See if I can get him in the boat. I got him. Ain't big as that last one, of course. But I'll take him. Nothing wrong with that. He thought that was a brim. He was rudely awakened though. He tried to get that brim in his mouth, and all of a sudden he had a hook stuck up in there. Get another one. There's no, oh God dog it, he come off. I missed him. There's one. Well, it feels like a big one. I don't know, we'll see. Pretty good one. Pretty good one. Oh yeah. A big fish. I ain't that big. Man, I always think they're bigger now. Still a good one though. 3.5, 4 pounder. Let's weigh him and just see what he is. Just curious. Just curious. Y'all ever do that though? Oh, it's a giant. I don't know, I seem to do it more and more. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. Let's just see, I'm gonna say he's 310. Oh, doggone it, battery's dead. That's all right. I'm gonna say he's almost 4. Good fish. Nothing wrong with that. They're out here around this little point right here. I caught several on the other side of it. And I thought, well, I'll come over here and basically fish the same depth on this side and just see if I can kind of recreate that. And I think that was my first cast up in there, and he ate it. But yes, I thought he was way bigger than that. I thought he was way bigger than that. He flashed down there in the water and just looked like he was 6 or 7 pounds. But he wasn't. That's okay. Hey, he pulled on my line. I'm out here working on plan H because I can't really get on any of my stuff. All right, let's see if we can get another one. I know there's more in here. Boy, he freaking smoked that chatterbait. Guys, if you're not fishing chatterbait, you are missing out. To me, now when they start getting up on top, that's different. But other than that, this is my favorite bite right here. It's so violent, man, you know? You stop that thing and just doom. Let's go and get another one to do it right here. This is about the same kind of spot right here. About 6 foot of water. And there's some submerged eelgrass and hydrilla all through here. So maybe there's another one hanging out. Let's see. That's a fish. There we go. Feels like a pretty good one. He's a decent one. He's not a giant. Pull on my line. Pull on my line. He's just a little keeper. Man, today's been fun. Just a lot of fish, you know. Smoked that chatterbait. That was awesome. There we go. There we go. Boy, he freaking hammered it. That's a good one too. That's a big one. That's a really big one. There we go. I came out here on the main river to try to catch a good one. And if he don't jump off, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. There we go. Heck yeah. I stopped that chatterbait and bam! Tell you what, I'm gonna put him in the box for a little bit. Get some pictures. See if we can catch some more. Heck yeah. All right. That was awesome. All right, let's see if we can catch some more. Let's see if we can get some more of them. I come out here on the main river hoping there'd be some fish on this bar. And then I missed one a few minutes ago. Looked like a pretty good fish. Heck yeah. He come up and shook that head and I thought he was way bigger than that. When he hit it, man, he just freaking hammered it. There's a little bit of shallow grass growing in here. Just a foot or so off the bottom, maybe 2 feet off the bottom. And I'm keeping this thing just above the grass. And when I nick some, like this right there, I pull it through, rip it out of there, and then I'll stop it. Man, a lot of times that's exactly when they nail it. And that's what he did. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Had a guy comment on one of my videos, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he said he'd fished chatterbaits from Maine to Florida, and with a lot of different people, never seen a retrieve quite like the way that I fished this chatterbait. And first of all, I love a ½ ounce. Okay, this is a ½ ounce Evo green pumpkin with a chatter spike trailer on the back. Okay, and I like this weight because I can fish it in typically the depth that I'm trying to fish it in. If you're, which is usually like, you know, 3 to 7 foot of water, something like that. And I can keep this above the grass as long as it's not real close to the surface. Now, if I'm fishing really shallow, say, you know, dirt to 2.5 feet, well, then I might go down to a 3/8 ounce. Or if I'm trying to keep it above the grass, you know, where the grass has gotten high in the water column, I may go to a 3/8 ounce. But I like the 1/2 ounce. This is my favorite. And sometimes I'm fishing really deep, like on a ledge, I might go, you know, to a 3/4 or even an ounce. But the 1/2 ounce is my favorite. This 1/2 ounce Evo is probably my favorite. And I love green pumpkin. I'll throw a red one early in the year. You know, in January, I'll throw that with a red chatterbait trailer. Not sure the name of this color of this chatterbait, but it's just like a clear shad color, you know, and just a very natural looking bait. I throw it on 18-pound fluoro, and that gives me, you know, not a lot of stretch, really, just to be able to jerk it through the grass and also be able to feel the bites too. So that's kind of the setup. I also throw it on this is an NRX, G-Limits NRX rod. Pretty sure it's an 894C, okay? So it's a 7.5, you know, medium heavy action. The rod's not, I don't think is that critical. You just want something that's got a good tip to it, got enough backbone to play a fish. There's a million rods out there you can choose from. Definitely wouldn't throw it on a spinning rod or really light casting rod. I like a medium heavy, 7.2 to 7.6, something like that. It gives me plenty of casting distance and also has a backbone to be able to work the fish. So that's the setup, right? And what I'll do, you know, when I throw this thing out there, I'll keep it above the grass. I'm throwing on a 6.3 to 1 reel. I'm keeping it above the grass, and I like to just, you know, work it through the grass, right? I let it get down and I feel the top of the grass and I'll rip it through. I'll stop, start again, real slow, rip it through. But I'm constantly trying to, I kind of visualize like there's a fish following it. And I want to do something to try to make him bite. You know, I'll come out here sometimes and I'll be with somebody that's, you know, they're just doing a straight retrieve, reeling it straight in. Rarely does that even compete in terms of the number of bites, number of fish that we catch versus, you know, this kind of retrieve. You know, kind of slow and steady, but also just like jerking through the grass, stopping it. 90% of my bites, they're gonna come when that bait stops and that fish, you know, they eat it. And it's freaking awesome. It's a lot of fun. But that's the setup and that's the retrieve. And, you know, if the grass gets high in the water column, like right now, the water's low. They got the water down a little bit here on Guntersville. So a lot of the places I like to do this in, it's a lot harder because the grass is so high in the water column. You don't have really enough room to work with to try to, you know, yo-yo it and work it and stop and start and rip it through the grass. So you can't really do that if it's, you know, 6 inches below the surface. It's gonna be almost impossible to do that. Maybe you can throw a 3/8 ounce out there and, you know, be able to do it to some extent. But I like it when I got about, you know, 3 to 5 foot of water to work with from the surface down to where the top of the grass is. That's ideal. I know I can throw it out there and, you know, work it through there, rip it out of the grass, let it fall, stop, start. To me, guys, that's just a deadly combination, a great way to rig and fish this bait. And it'll catch them on Guntersville, probably most lakes, but here's 12 months out of the year, you can fish a chatterbait and catch fish. So that's the way I rig it. That's the way I fish it. Give it a shot. If you've been just reeling it straight in, doing a straight retrieve, or if you've been throwing it on a 7.3 to 1 or 8.3 to 1 or a really high speed reel, back off. Go down to a 6.3 to 1, throw it on 18-pound fluoro, throw it out there, rip it through the grass, stop, start, rip it, you know, have a lot of erratic action and see if you get more bites. Hopefully that helps. You got primary bars, which I like to call primary bars, right up next to the main channel, and then secondary bars. And really a bar is just like a long hump, right? So like this bar, this thing goes for miles, and it's got grass all up and down it. And what you will find is there will be sweet spots in this bar. You might go 500 yards, 1,000 yards and not get a bite, and then all of a sudden you hit an area and then there they are, right? And you're just catching them one after another. And typically it's because there's a hard spot, there's something a little unique, maybe a little ditch running down through there, you know, something like that that is holding those fish. So, you know, when you're out here fishing these bars and you catch one, put that thing on spot lock. If it's shallow enough where you can put your power pole down, just stop and fish it a little bit, okay? And a lot of times that's gonna pay dividends for you because they're gonna be in that little area. This is one of my favorite bars right here, and a lot of times I'll come out here. I filmed a lot of topwater episodes here, and sometimes you spot lock and I'll just sit in one spot, you know, for 2 hours and just catch one right after another. And I'll have guys they'll move up and down the bar, and I'll notice, you know, they're not catching anything at all, and they get close to my area. Maybe they pick one or two up, and of course they keep on moving and go right by me. But pay attention to that. There's just little subtle differences in these places, and when you look at them, you know, from the boat, even on the map, they may not look different at all. It may just look like it's the same thing all the way up and down through there. But I promise you, there are definitely sweet spots on these bars. So when you catch one, lean on it a little bit, fish it, and see if that helps you out. There's one. There we go. Pretty good one. Pretty good one. Stay hooked up, big boy. I'm gonna flip you in here. All right, quit jumping. You've jumped enough. You done? No? I got him hooked right in the snout. Oh, gracious. Nothing wrong with that. Oh. Gotta love Guntersville. Gotta freaking love it. I don't know if y'all saw that or not, if you could see it in the video, but I've been fan casting through this one little area, spot locked right here. And sure enough, when I stopped it, he freaking hammered it. I always like to just kind of visualize that chatterbait coming back in with a fish following it. That's the way I like to fish it. And just assume that they're gonna eat it, but it's gotta do something to make them bite. So that's my strategy anyways. And I just seem to get a whole lot more bites like that than a straight retrieve. Now sometimes you'll catch them on a straight retrieve, but I just get a lot more fish when I do something to try to make them react, you know? Gotta love that chatterbait bite. Topwater bite's definitely number one. That is a freaking blast. But a chatterbait bite, especially when they're in one of them moods and they just want to take it out of your hand, when you stop that thing, slow it down, it's freaking awesome. There we go. I got him that time. That feels like a pretty decent one. He ain't that big. He's still fun to catch though. Oh, I stopped that thing and he freaking smoked it. Get in here, boy. There we go. Just a little 2-pounder. Just a little 2-pounder. God, I love this lake, man. It's so much fun. So much fun. Ah, this chatterbait bite is freaking awesome, man. I stopped that thing and boom! He hammered it. I don't know if that's the same fish that hit it a minute ago or not, but I stopped it. I love when they hit that thing, you load up and you just feel the rod. Even a 2-pounder. All right, guys, well, that's gonna do it for today. You know, just another awesome day out here on Guntersville. I freaking love coming to this place. Today there's a lot of traffic, a lot of boats. There's a big tournament tomorrow, and I know a lot of guys practicing for that. And you know, I tried to stay out of the way as much as I could, and just hit a bunch of different places. Plan A didn't work out like I thought it was going to, but still managed to catch a bunch of fish and had a good time. I don't know what my best 5 would have been, maybe 17, 18 pounds, something like that. I had one that was right at 5, and then several in that, you know, 3 to 4 range, something like that. So fun day, awesome morning. Caught everything on a chatterbait, a Senko, a D-bomb, and I think I caught a couple on a popper as well. So a little bit of variety, a little bit of mix today. I'm fixing to head to Illinois. Turkey season starts up there on Monday, and I'll be in Tennessee, and then I go to Washington State. So I don't know how much fishing I'm gonna get to do over the next, you know, several weeks actually. So may not see a video from me for a while, at least a fishing video that is. I might do some turkey videos, but anyways, great day to be out here. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much for being a part of the channel. We'll see you on the water.